And welcome back. We are speaking matters insurance this morning. We got Dan THIONG'O. He's the CEO MTN, Meet the Needs Insurance, discussing about matters to do with medical insurance, especially life insurance, all manner of insurance, and why you need to be insured. And we said we would talk about life insurance, which is a taboo topic in some places. Mm-hmm. Because it seems like, you wish. People say you wish us death. But then somebody said that the two things we are guaranteed in life are death and taxes.
That's true, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We are guaranteed they will happen.
Those are going to happen.
They are going to happen. One time or another.
Yes.
Yeah. Given that in mind,
mm-hmm.
and considering that a lot of us are in, we are being called for harambes.
Yes.
We are in groups, we are changaing for this death and that death. As an insurance person,
right,
what would be your advice to us on matters life insurance? How should we approach it?
Okay, looking at first our inhibitions when it comes to life insurance. And life insurance, the bit you've touched on is actually what we call a last expense.
Yes.
The last expense cover. You look at what is available. There's so much available. Every life insurance company has a last expense product that they can sell to you either as an individual or as groups. And in this day and age, there's so many groups. There is school groups, there is ex-college groups, there is work-related groups, all of them either in one WhatsApp group or the other. There are all these chamas that are in each and every sector, and all those are ripe for this kind of plan. It's inexpensive, may cost you anywhere from 1,500 a year to 15,000 shillings, depending on the type of benefit you want. Because you could, following death, you could collect anything for your next of kin of 50,000 to even 500,000 shillings, based on, of course, what you wanted to happen. Now, this kind of plans are necessary because I can assure you that, like you rightly mentioned, there's so many WhatsApp groups, and left, right, and center, people are dying. And initially, I can tell you there was the mchanga. We were busy doing it, and you could see a list being generated. But nowadays, you find that list is getting shorter and shorter.
Yes.
I tell this because people are getting fatigued. And not because they don't want to contribute.
But they chanted last week and they chanted last Tuesday.
Yes, there has to be a better way of doing this. And I was giving an example to one of my group friends that, look, assume you are contributing 1,000 shillings. In this group, that group, this group, the other group. At the end of the year, you'll have contributed like 15,000 or 20,000. And that's just for last expense. How about even medical? So you'd find that if everybody decided to put aside 5,000 shillings to buy their last expense plans, it's going to be much more useful, because all then you do is, as soon as somebody passes on, you just notify us, notify your insurance company. And once paperwork has been provided, then a check is cut. And you don't have to hassle people with any harambe, except for any logistics that you might want help in. But the harambes and having people contribute, yes, it is African of us to...
But there will be that pressure.
Yes.
We have 2 million and we have only given one, you guys.
Yeah. So you need to cut out the pressure that is there, and kill that apathy that people get. Yeah. And you find that it's just arranging, just the paperwork you need to do, and we are on cover. Yeah, it's a one way of doing things. And my favorite word, financial planning again. Not necessarily now we are sending you But
unajipanga.
yeah, ushajipanga.
But there is a worry now from away from the last expense. There's a worry that when you take life insurance for yourself, like say I take a payout.
Yes.
There's a worry that now if my wife knows now, she'll make arrangements
To
to get the payout.
Well, I think one of the things that is important is first make the arrangement for life insurance, because you're taking this life insurance that in case something happened to you, your family would at least for a number of months live the same lifestyle you had put them in as they make arrangements after that, because that immediate
some cushioning.
Yeah, you need to provide that cushion. Somebody passes on today and they didn't have that. You can imagine, say you're living in a rented house, so your partner probably was not working, but there was no life insurance, you passed on. What's going to happen is the landlord will only understand for 1 or 2 months. And this understanding is that you're trying to get money to pay. You have to make arrangements of how you're going to either continue to pay rent or leave. That's just rent. How about the other needs, basic needs of every household? So you'd find that life insurance, we are taking it because of purely that. And heard from people who say, oh, you know what, shauri yao watajipanga. But then again, I don't think anybody then would have needed to go into so much trouble of having a family that you live destitute or unable to fend for themselves, when you could have made this arrangement in advance. And that's why life insurance is important. But coming back to the fact that maybe your partner can decide, I think there's some 50 million we can get, instead of waiting, let me make arrangements.
Because you've seen it, even children. I don't know. There's a lot of wazes, especially, and the elderly folk are quite apprehensive on matters life insurance. It's as people who do covers, when somebody comes and they want to get that life cover.
Yes.
What do you give as advice in terms of payouts and making sure that if it was secret, that it would be not too much of a secret that he die and get paid out?
What happens is you're seeking life insurance, so we would look at one, what is available to meet with specifically what you want to put in place. Number two, we also ask you to fill out a beneficiary nomination form, meaning that in the event anything happening, the next of kin or the beneficiaries who have been mentioned in that form are the ones that we will contact. Yeah, there's the name. This is the person you pay 100% or 50%, because you have that option of choosing several and determining the percentage payout should it get to that. And then there's a phone number. So the day we have to deal with that, we simply to activate the instructions that you left. And we would call in and say, based on the insurance that was in place, there is this payment available. Where do we send it? We've also had scenarios whereby somebody nominated minors. They didn't nominate their spouse, they nominated the children. These are minors, so you would need a guardian. So in the absence of that, we've had to go into trust funds, whereby there's that arrangement that a trust fund has been put in place. Of the money that was payable, it goes to a trust fund immediately. It takes care of the needs of these children in terms of education and upkeep, and the rest of it waits until they now get to the age of majority and they can collect the payout of balance that's left, because it's invested, and get to now pay those bills, fees and things like that. Yeah. But it's not to the point of depletion, because also it has to be reasonable.
Yeah. Has to be reasonable.
Yeah.
Are those expensive things as well?
No, they're not, because you know the person who's taking the trust funds is in it to make money. They just are getting investment money. So the portion of what they invest, they take their admin fees from there, and the rest of it is an interest that accrues to the fund.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, interesting stuff. And they always say that, you know, that there's a perception that selling insurance can be very taxing. Is it a perception, by the way?
I think it's how we used to package it.
Yeah.
So the moment, and sometimes it happens now, you can find somebody walks in here and they are trying to sell life, and they make you sign a form, they'll send me to so and so. So you find the whole office is yeah. And so when that happens, and some people don't like it, you find there's that feeling that these insurance people wanasumbua sana. So there are actually offices whereby there are rules. The receptionist or the guy at the gate is told any person saying they are selling insurance, they are not welcome here, especially the walk-ins. In this day and age, you can make appointments and go for a formal meeting to pitch. But the time of walk-ins, this is a person you don't even know. So how did they manage to sell? And sometimes when they've sold this insurance, and sometimes they leave that employer, they go to somebody else. But this was your contact person.
Yes.
So when they leave, they don't tell you your matters will now be handled by so and so. And sometimes you find your policy could be maturing, or you might need to make alterations. There's no one to talk to. So that's what happens. And so people say that these insurance people hapana. But now how we do it is we will need to find out, what are some of the needs, for example, we have in this office, both for life insurance, medical insurance. And if we need to do a meeting or a pitch, then we'll come and talk to everyone and allow all these questions that you have, so that everybody feels
everyone gets satisfied.
And then you know where to find us. You know which insurance company we are dealing with. So as long as those very steps have been followed. If, for example, I'm not working in MTN, MTN is still there. There's an institutional framework that is there that allows business to continue. And you'd find why people have a problem with walk-ins type of sales is because if they disappeared and maybe you had trusted them with money, even if you're sending direct to the insurance company, sometimes you don't have any feedback that so far tumefika hapa, because some insurers may not send you statements of how your insurance policy is doing, strictly life here. The rest of the insurance schemes are very simple. If it's motor insurance, that one you buy and we send it to you virtually, and makes things very simple. There's no fear that the insurance cover you have, whether it's valid or not. It is very straightforward. You're seeing it.
Yeah. What do we tell those guys who are watching us and they want to get insurance?
Yes.
What advice would you give them? Any type of insurance, if you're looking for insurance?
I would say they need to talk to us. We are not the only insurance broker in the market, but we do understand where our customers' issues come from. We have time to listen to exactly what sort of questions they need to be addressed.
Yeah. How do you answer questions like somebody says, oh, well, I don't need you. What if I just go directly? Why are you there?
I will tell them we are there because we serve a very important purpose of differentiating for you from company A to company B, where all of them are well registered, regulated, and are in business. insurance A's product could have certain benefits that is not in B or in C. And in terms of cost, sometimes they could be same. But what, again, of the experience? How, if I told you this is a comparison of like 10 companies, this is the product you're looking for, we will tell you how each product is different from the other. Even motor insurance looks standard, but it varies from company to company in terms of what additions are in.
And you don't know until the day you bump someone.
Yes. So
and you want your windscreen replaced, and then you discover
exactly
that's not covered.
Right.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. So all these things which we demystify. Actually, our bit is more of to demystify part of the insurance that sometimes guys don't bother with. So we'll tell you some things that you didn't know that you needed to know. So, so we try to run campaigns mostly to make it palatable. Yeah.
How do you ensure the customer experience is enjoyable? Because once I've come in, is that it? You know, many times people feel like, okay, I got insurance. Then I last spoke to my insurance, you know.
Only when I had a claim.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, we tell our customers that we may not engage you on a daily basis because of the kind of insurance cover that you took. So if it is motor, for example, and if you don't have an accident, we'll not have any chance of engaging except when we are giving you a notification of anything that could have changed in the insurance, or when we are sending you a renewal invitation. If you have a claim, for example, then we will engage. And I tell my customers, don't be afraid when there is a claim, because that is when you know your insurer. You will know whether this is an insurance company that is going to take us round and round, or they'll make the process smooth. On our end, we try as much as possible to smoothen the rough edges, because there are areas that as a client, we may not know that we needed to do. Beyond reporting, say, to the police and filling in a claim form, there's still now in the background what is happening. Do you need, is there an investigation to take place? Is there any assessment that is pending? Are reports out? Because all these things delay how fast a claim can be resolved. And not just motor claim, but any claim, including for things like personal accidents that may need specific reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you based at?
We're seated at Jabavu House. Jabavu House along Arguings Kothek on the second floor.
Wow. We just have about 2 minutes to go. I just think the time is so far gone.
Right.
To that person who's watching us, who, you know, has gotten all this information and is still in the, okay,
yes.
What next? What advice would you give them to them this morning? What would you give them as their take home?
This morning, those who are watching us, we'd like you to reach out to us. Let us discuss insurance. It may not be as detailed as probably when we are seated in the office, but you can reach out to us. You can email us on info@mtninsurance.co.ke, or you can check us out through various social media handles, all of them available. And yes, if you can, visit us and let us discuss insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming and having a chat with us about that.
Right.
You know, telling us why it's important. Hopefully we change that number of...
Oh, the penetration.
Of the penetration. Yes.
That needs to go up, yes.
Yes, hopefully we change that number and we, you know, are able to take... Because the issue with billing is a real problem. Yes.
Yes. Thanks for having us. Let's hope that we can engage more on this matters insurance.
Yeah.
And thanks.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Dan THIONG'O there, MTN Insurance. He is a CEO, and they stand for Meet the Needs. We're just chatting about why you need insurance. Hope that's been helpful. You can always reach us to reach them. If you don't have been able to get all those emails, talk to us. We will help you be able to, you know, get a foothold and get yourself insured and hopefully be able to manage your life better. That's 59 minutes for this morning. God bless you. Have a good day. See you tomorrow, God willing.